Okay, further questions have been raised. So, let's see. This subject was video game reviews before. Now it's listed as digital media analysis. And this was, meetups, and has been changed to... What kind of prudish prank is this? Solicitations and miscellaneous fraternizing. So, we've got someone, or a group of someones, who doesn't seem to like pop culture very much. In fact, from what I can see here, just about anything that refers to either mainstream or even internet culture is treated as condescendingly as possible. Okay, so they renamed all the subjects that they disagree with. They replied to this guy, who was asking about how to trick a woman into sleeping with him, saying, "People like you are the reason why women carry pepper spray." They seem to have left the science boards mostly intact. In fact, just about the only thing they did here was commenting in this one neuroscience thread. Close but no cigar. Some recommended reading, with a whole bunch of links to essays about neuroscience? Hang on a sec. As I combed through the list of linked essays, there was a distinct trend. Not only were the majority of the emphasized essays and research papers clearly written by the same person, despite multiple names ascribed to each paper, but the ones that weren't were referenced in the one author's body of work. Well, someone thinks highly of themselves. The multiple names made me doubt my gut feeling that it was all the same person, but only for about a minute. I compared the writing styles. I could still have been wrong, but my intuition is rarely wrong. I compiled the names used, and then checked over the papers again. Aha! Random capitalization in an otherwise perfectly typed essay? I compared the capitalized letters with the names on each paper, and sure enough, the letters corresponded with the names. But not directly. Each name was pulled from the capitalized letters of the paper that came before it chronologically. But why? Why go to all the trouble of masking your identity by publishing under multiple pseudonyms, only to leave a direct trail connecting all of them? This had to be a taunt of some kind, a challenge. Thinking of it that way, the entire forum hack began to make more sense. A person with a background in neuroscience, judging by all the papers they wrote on the subject. My heart thudded with realization. Could this be the connection I was looking for? I went back over the other comment threads, which were exploding with confusion in the wake of the hack. Many of the posts had words suddenly highlighted as links, and following the links led to informational or educational web pages. Wait a second. The words chosen for being linked! There was a pattern! I began compiling the words together to try and make sense of what I was looking at. For a long time, it felt like I was staring too closely at one of those depth perception illusion images, and if I was just able to pull back enough, I'd be able to see enough of the picture to make something out. Hours passed. I had drawn many potential connections between words, and all of them had trailed off. Failures. Whoever had done this, they were exceedingly intelligent. The code seemed impossible to crack. But, again, something in the back of my mind insisted there was a pattern. Finally, things clicked into place one by one. This word was a stand-in for another word, and if that word meant this, then... and so on. There was finally order in chaos. The words were a code, with each word representing either a letter or a number, and put together were an address for... a YouTube video? I loaded up YouTube and entered the URL. The moment of truth. Had I cracked the code?
Greetings and felicitations, freethinker and wisdom seeker. It would appear you finally cracked the code. I'll admit, I had my doubts that anybody would make it as far as you have, that like so many before you, you'd fail to meet my expectations. Suffice it to say, you have my undivided, albeit pre-recorded, attention. And given all the trouble you must have gone through in order to make it this far, I have the distinct impression the feeling is mutual. But you didn't come all this way just to have your ego stroked. At least I certainly hope not. So for the sake of brevity, I'll get straight to the point. Why am I doing this? I'm willing to wager that at one point or another you've heard the phrase, knowledge is power. Or perhaps, the pen is mightier than the sword?
It was a very impassioned manifesto written by a man whose goals were simultaneously cynical and idealistic. There was a lot of anger in his words, but also the glimmer of hope. I found myself nodding by the end.
I'm here to remind you to fucking think. And as much as I am loath to admit it, I realize that I'm incapable of launching any sort of societal paradigm shift on my own. At least one of the magnitude needed to make any sort of significant difference. That's where you come in. Whoever you are, and whatever series of events led you to becoming the person I'm addressing now, I need your help. Because it can't just be the two of us, right? 2 out of approximately 8 billion and counting? With odds like that, there have to be others out there willing and able to piece together the bigger picture of what's really going on. You've seen firsthand what it is I do, and now you understand why I do it. This channel and the contents therein will fill you in on the rest. The fact that you're hearing me right now proves to me that you're qualified to take up the mantle of the logician and fight alongside me. Because people like us, we're the only hope that's left for mankind. We've come this far. There's no going back for either of us.
I could see it. The tiny silver thread that I'd been hunting for this entire time all of a sudden flickered into view. A man with a passion for neurology who thought outside of convention and was unlikely to repeat the script that so many others had repeated. A man who wanted to change the world, just as I did. One of the benefits of being an online presence is the sort of connections you make. Anything that I cannot do myself, I can rely on an acquaintance or two to fill in for me. I was determined to find out where this man was. So, I got a friend of mine to work their magic and to track down where this guy was uploading his videos from. Specifically, his IP address. Wait a minute. Are you sure this is correct?
I guarantee it. Accurate 100%.
Huh. Well, thank you. I'll let you know what's up once I know more.
You better. You've got me curious now.
Definitely. So, this is interesting. This is my IP address. It's my IP address!